makes all sorts of noise, holds my place, but definitely screwed up the stream last week. That chicken, who I leave there to let people know that I'm coming when I get here, is, hey, did my music finally end? I think I took too long to get here. There we go. There's some music. Woohoo! Let's do some other music. There we go. It's the Friday show, and it's Pete. And we are hopefully live on a few different platforms. Maybe YouTube, maybe TikTok, maybe Twitch. Maybe I did some stuff right. Maybe I didn't. We'll find out when the calls start to come in. But yeah, the chicken last week. The plug for the camera is right down there. And I accidentally, when I picked him up to put him on the couch to tell people that I was going to be coming shortly, his stupid chicken foot hit the power plug and completely unplugged it. So that is why after 38 minutes and 12 seconds, I went off the air last week very abruptly. Some people thought that maybe I'd hit or a meteor had hit me or something bad had happened. It was just a stupid chicken's foot. But I'm back this week. We're going to do the Friday show, the Pete and Greet, I guess as some people called it last week. I just call it the Pete Show. I'm here with my blind surfer wetsuit. Hopefully you guys can see how beautiful and wonderful it came out. I waited a long time and spent a lot of money getting it done. From the descriptions that I've gotten, it sounds pretty awesome. They is it still up there? Yeah, they got the blind. I don't even know if this is in frame in the TikTok people, but TikTok people, there's a wetsuit just to my left. Left arm says caution. Right in the middle it says blind surfer. There's caution tape all around it, and I was going to wear it, but it was really, really, really hot. And I realized why people only wear wetsuits in the water, because when you try and put a wetsuit on and you're sitting in a little studio office room by yourself, it gets a little bit toasty. And I didn't really feel like being all sweaty and gross for the hour that I was going to hang with you guys. I'm going to go right to the calls because I kind of want to make sure that we're actually on the air. I'd like to use you guys as my unpaid engineers and feedback people. So it is the Pete and Greet Friday show. Who's this? Are we on the air?
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Oh my gosh. I'd rather stay anonymous.
Okay, you can stay anonymous. I'll just call you Oh My Gosh. What's up, Oh My Gosh?
Oh my gosh.
See?
First of all, can we just acknowledge that you just played every movie announcer like of all time?
You're talking about the thing I posted a couple of weeks ago with all the movie trailers and TV promos and stuff that I've done.
Like you could be voicing the most random movie, like Hooky Pookie had a Wookie rated R or something, and your voice would be there.
Rated R. How's that? You want me to do that one? Hooky Pookie had a Wookie rated R. Is that good?
Yes.
All right, cool. Call my agent. Make sure we get paid.
It is really impressive what you do. Like, how are you able to do all this stuff when you're blind?
Well, that's a good question, and I try and tell people this isn't something I didn't wake up one day just I didn't have perfect vision and then wake up one day blind. It went away really slowly, and I didn't start this channel until I was in my mid-30s, and so I had a lot of time to adjust as my eyesight was going away, and a lot of time to make a bunch of little compensations here and there. You know, when you lose your eyesight, it's a lot to make up for. And it takes a lot of time. I think people that lose it suddenly or that suffer like real fast visual degradation, that's really hard. But I had a lot of time to get ready. So, I learned to skateboard as a kid. I used to ride mountain bikes. I used to play football when I could see. I had a very physical, athletic background, and then kind of transitioning it into when I was trying to do it without eyesight took time, but it's possible as long as you keep at it.
Wow. It's still impressive nonetheless, though.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. My wetsuit's falling down. I wanted people to see it. If I can't see it, I wanted other people to see it. Are we actually, what platform are you watching on today? Oh my gosh.
YouTube.
Okay. And we're actually there?
What, say it one more time?
We're actually live. We're streaming on YouTube. I did it. I made it work. Every time I do this by myself, I'm always afraid I'm going to screw it up. Come on, wetsuit, stay up. I want people to see you.
You're definitely live.
All right, that's good. All right, you got any other questions for me? Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure if I have one more question, but this is definitely a question. Do you have to pay for this?
Do I what?
Do you have to pay for this?
No, I have to. You can stream for free on YouTube, but I do have a producer go through the content afterwards and take out all the best stuff. So if you feel like you have something amazing that can get cut up into a short, maybe my producer will grab it and turn it into a short for us.
Wait, no, no, that's not what I was asking. I was asking, like, do I need to pay to call you?
Oh, no. It's a free call within the United States and you can call it internationally. I think there might be some charges internationally. You have to check with your calling plan, but anybody can call on pretty much any calling plan. I was thinking of trying to get an 800 number that was like 888 call Pete or something like that, but this number is working and people are calling, and I don't like to mess with things that are working too much.
Okay, well, for now, until next time, well, if you could pick me up next time, I think that's all I have for today. But thank you so much for having me. Like on Friday, the last Friday that you hosted.
Yep.
I didn't have any school, so I was like, man, let me call Pete.
You didn't get through last week?
Nah.
Well, I'm glad you kicked us off today and you started strong. The guy last week, what did he say? The guy last week, the first call I got, he said, I think he's like, can you see stuff when you're blind? And I'm like, that's a prank call. And I hung up on that one. That's how we started last week. I did not like that. So you started us off much better this week. Oh my gosh. I appreciate your calling.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see. I'll call you later. Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot. It is the meet and greet. What do we call it? They named it last week for me. The Pete and Greet. The Pete and Greet Friday show. 760-517-6844 is the phone number. Going to be sticking around for probably about an hour today. I'm trying to get some consistency to this thing because I heard in the news today that they're trying to ban social media for people under the age of 16 in Australia, and it's because social media is so freaking bad for the mental well-being of kids. And I feel like if I could do anything in this world, I wanted to give people at least one positive place to go on social media. That's kind of what I try and keep in mind when I make all the videos. I'm trying to put together, yes, entertainment first and foremost, because no one will watch it if it's not entertaining, but some good messages, some positivity, something to make you smile, something to make you happy, and something that hopefully doesn't make you feel bad about yourself. So if Australia is going to ban social media to everyone under the age of 16, maybe they can keep the Pete and Greet show and we can get some traction over in Australia. It's the Pete and Greet, the Friday show. We're going to try and get through some calls today. I'm a little under the weather. Hopefully I sound okay, and hopefully I don't nod off in the middle of this. It's been a long week. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we'll get to our second call of the day right now. Hello, who's this?
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Anthony.
Anthony, what's going on? What do you want to talk about?
I just had a couple questions because I've been watching you for a while.
Sure, fire away.
Okay. Who helps you out? Because I know you probably have like someone who helps you out with all the stuff due to your blindness, like
You mean in terms
like
of creating the videos, or out and about in the world, like when I'm surfing and stuff like that?
Like out and about in the world.
Out and about in the world, like last weekend when we took the suit, which I feel like keeps falling down. I wanted it to look good, but it keeps tumbling down. Hopefully people get the idea. It's the blind surfer suit off to my left. When I went out last week, I had two people with me. One was my fiance, Banana, who is more often than not behind a camera and doesn't get as much FaceTime as she should, because she does so much for me. She was actually walking me around, getting me from place to place, helping me find my way. There was like a whole play structure in the middle of the beach where we were trying to work last week, and she had me by the hand and was walking me around. And the other person with me was Nisha, who is with me every Saturday. We go surfing together. She is my surf coach. Both of them are blonde. Both of them are about the same age. Both of them are about the same size and appear on the shorts kind of infrequently. So a lot of people thought they were the same person. They thought Banana was a nickname for Nisha. So they actually were both at my Halloween party. Well, of course, it was Banana's Halloween party too. She lives here. We had them side by side on a video, and people got to see that they're actually two different people.
Oh, well, that's really nice. They both seem like nice people.
Yeah, so there's the two of them. I also I have another surf coach by the name of Brooks who takes me out from time to time, or pretty much every week. Josh was my right hand man for a long time. He's moved a little far away, but I still see him usually once a month. There's a lot of people that hang out every once in a while. A guy named Jimmy comes and surfs with me. Cameron Christian comes and surfs with me. Because it is difficult to do stuff by myself alone. Obviously, just getting down to the beach is difficult. And then being out on the water is, now that I've got the new wetsuit over here that's crumpled up next to me, hopefully people will start to understand that blind surfer means I'm blind and I can't see them. So if I am out by myself, we're hoping that the messaging gets across a little better. But it's always safer to have someone out in the water with me to kind of call out any dangers and warn any other people that I'm blind, I can't see them. So if I'm coming in your direction, look out.
What beach do you surf at?
I'm in the San Diego area, and we kind of wake up. I only get to surf on the weekends, and we just wake up and try and find where the surf report is the best. It's a two-part thing. We find out where the surf report is the best, and it's not too crowded, because we just don't like being out in a big crowd of people. It's as much as we try and navigate the fact that they can't see me and I can't see them, it's better if we're in a smaller crowd. So we wake up and we have someone look at the cameras, and we do a little driving around anywhere between Oceanside and down to La Jolla is where we'd surf generally. So in North County and central San Diego, basically.
Yeah, I've always like dreamed of going surfing, but all I can do right now is like ride the waves, like whenever I'm swimming.
Yeah, body surfing.
Yeah,
I came out here when when I very first moved to San Diego. I'd brought a boogie board, and I guess they call it a bodyboard out here, but calling it a boogie board is not cool. But I had a boogie board, and for the first 2 or 3 months, I was doing the boogie boarding on the inside, and I was like, this is fun, this is great. And then I realized that basically everybody in San Diego surfs, and I kind of wanted to try it out. So Banana and I went and bought a big foam surfboard, and I'd never done it before, and it was very difficult. I'll say the transition from bodyboarding to surfing, it was a number of weeks before I actually stood up with any confidence. Like I would get up and then immediately fall over. It took a while before I was actually able to get up and ride at all. But the first time you do it, what a feeling to just be able to like glide and walk on the water. It's a lot of fun. It's a great sport.
Did you ever watch or listen to the movie Surf's Up?
Yes. Is that the one that's the animated, like with Chicken Joe and Z, I think is the main big guy. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
I did. Josh and I and Banana and Josh's fiance Danny, we all, they watched it and I listened to it, and it was really fun because two of the voices in it were Kelly Slater and Rob Machado, and they just had like little cameos. And it was when we watched that movie, Rob had just finished shaping my second board for me, and I was like, I know that guy. It was fun for me. I heard the voice and I recognized it right away. I'm like, that's totally Rob. So that was a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah, I only have a couple more questions. I don't want to keep you on here too long because I know there's other people that want opportunities
Sure.
to get to call you. So I only got like a couple more questions.
All right, fire away.
Another one was there any like underlying medical conditions that caused you to be blind, or was it like rare that it just your eyesight went like started fading?
I was born with a genetic disorder. This is, of course, in the 80s, they were trying to diagnose it, and they didn't have the technology and resources that they do today. So it took a while for them to figure out what it was. But I was born with a genetic disorder, which they initially diagnosed as macular degeneration, which is something a lot of older people get. They have age-related and non-age-related. Mine was non-age-related because I was very young. They reclassified it to something called Stargardt's disease, and it means that there's a defect on your ABCA4 chromosome, very specific spot, and it causes your eyesight to degrade from the center out. So the moment I was born, I actually had perfectly good eyesight, but from the moment I took my first breath, my eyes started to deteriorate. They were just dying very slowly, and we noticed it. My eyesight got noticeably bad by the time I was 8. And it just continued to get bad and continued to get bad. And the doctors didn't know the trajectory of this eyesight disease. They had actually told me that it would probably stop by the time I was 27, which of course it did not. And it just kept getting worse and kept getting worse. But it was something I was born with.
Well, by the technology they have now and the way technology is progressively getting better, they'll well, I'm hoping they will. They'll probably have something that will be able to restore your eyesight, or like implants or something
That
in the near future or late future.
That's some positive thinking. I like that. I try not to. I try not to live my life thinking that they're going to have a cure, and that might sound a little negative to people. Like, why wouldn't you think they're going to have a cure? It's because I lost my eyesight slowly. And thank you for the call, Anthony. I really appreciate all those thoughtful questions. But to realize that you're losing your eyesight is a difficult thing, and then to accept it is a whole nother level of difficult. And that took me a long time, and I'm talking like decades before I was able to accept the fact that my eyesight was going, gone. And if someone is constantly dangling the carrot out there in front of you, like, we're going to fix it, it kind of messes with your head. Like you just kind of, I don't want to wake up every day going, man, living like this is so hard and it's so difficult, but next month they might cure it, because then that kind of disincentivizes me to deal with what I've got and to keep battling through the things that I've got. And more importantly, to live with what I've got. If you're constantly waiting for them to fix it, I'll take this trip, I'll learn this sport, I'll go out and do this thing once they fix my eyesight, then you never actually live the life that you've got. So I found that I just live life assuming they're not going to fix it and living the best life that I can as I am now. And that's actually helped me quite a bit. And when people dangle those cures out there like Elon Musk, it kind of upsets me, because I don't want him to mess with the psyche of other people that are dealing with this. If you're going to dangle a cure out there, you better have it. Not say, oh, we're going to have it in 10, 15 years. Maybe. You better have it once you say it. This is the Pete and Greet, the Friday edition of the call-in show with me, Pete, 760-517-6844. Phone number's in the description. If you are visually impaired or blind, just tap it and I'll read it out to you. Who is this on a Friday? Hello. Oh, they had the warning and everything. There's a little warning behind the scenes that people get to hear when they're about to come out. Oh, there you are. Hey, I almost nixed you. Who's this?
My name's Dallas.
Did you say Dallas?
Yes, I did.
Cool. What's going on, Dallas?
Hey, I'm calling from Illinois, man. I'm a big fan of yours, dude.
Appreciate that. Very cool. What's going on today?
Hey, I just wanted to call and let you know that you're doing what you're doing, man. Keep it up. You're a great man. And some of these people watch you and they feel like they just want to be like you.
Well, I don't know if they want to be just like me. If they have their eyesight, I think they'd rather prefer to stay the way they are. But I understand what you're saying. I appreciate the kind words. I do hope I've worked hard over my life to bring a positive attitude to what I've got, because believe me, it was hard, especially as a teenager, when all your friends are perfectly healthy and they're getting their driver's license and they're playing all the sports that I couldn't play at that time. It was difficult, and I was pretty angry about it. But I realized I just had to, keep going forward, got this one life to live, put on a smile, go out there, make the best of it. And I'll tell you, it's the people around me that make it possible. I've made a choice to surround myself with really positive, cool, energetic people that are also caring and thoughtful. And it's just made my life so much better. I think one of the first things I said this morning, Dallas, was your name. I'm the voice of a TV network that plays all old Westerns. It's called Outlaw. It's on the free TV networks. And I do not remember who is in it, but I remember waking up this morning and saying, it was like Tuesday night on Outlaw, Dallas, starting at 7, 6 Central on Outlaw. I'm pretty sure that was the first thing I voiced this morning.
That is saying something. You know how you're blind.
Yep.
I've got ADHD, autism, and you like surfing. It's one thing you do.
Yep.
But for me, I'm focused on tractors and trains and stuff like that.
Do you have a tractor? Do you live in a farm and have a tractor, or no?
No, I live in a town in Illinois. And I've got 4 tractors, and they're like garden tractors.
How big? How big is the biggest one?
The biggest one I've got, let's see, They're all international Cubs, except for one's a John Deere 108. But, their wheelbase on them is probably, I want to say, about not even 5 foot.
Okay. All right. I was asking, I remember when I was in high school, I was talking about, well, my friends were getting their driver's license. It was the summer after my senior year, and I was working as a landscaper for a boat club in the town that I grew up in. And they had a little tractor, little one. I forget how long it was. Maybe it was like 8 feet long or something like that, 7 or 8 feet. And all my friends used to, of course, drive to the parties and hang out, and I'd always either have to walk or ride my bike. And one night I decided to, I feel like the statute of limitations of this one has passed, so I can tell the story. So I grabbed the tractor that was meant to cut the grass in the boat club that I was working at, and I drove it to the party. I couldn't get a driver's license, but I drove my tractor and showed up to the party. And I don't know, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was better than walking. I had fun that night. And it was definitely a topic of conversation, like who left the tractor in the front yard? Oh, that was Pete. He took his tractor to the party.
Now that's saying something, because I'm 19 years old and I don't have a license. And I literally had to get one of these tractors back up and running.
Oh, so you're good with mechanics.
It was one of my favorite ones.
Did you work on it yourself? Did you have to like open it up and get in there with the gears and everything?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's impressive.
I quite literally had to pull the entire motor. I had to like literally take the whole motor out of the tractor. I like working with my hands. It's something that I do.
That's great. That's really good. I'm proud of you. That is not an easy thing to do, to get a motor up and running again. I know my father is very much into cars, and he's rebuilt a bunch of classic cars, and there's so much to know, and a lot of it isn't just knowing. This is what I've learned. It's not just knowing the nuts and bolts of it, but sometimes you get a feel like, what do I think is wrong with this motor? What is in here that I hear something kind of tinging, something kind of making a funny noise. I think I know what this is, and that's why the more experienced mechanics are really good. It's not just like reading from a book. It's getting a sense of what you think is broken. You feel like you've gotten that sense down? You're really good and getting better at that skill?
Yeah, I do believe I'm getting real good at it.
That's great. That is really cool. Well, thank you very much for the call. I'm going to try and get through a bunch of calls today. We're going to stick around till about 5:30 Pacific. It is 4:37 p.m. We started up a little bit early. It was a crazy week this week because, like, a lot of I do a lot of voice acting in the world of news. So I was up for a couple days straight there. It wasn't as bad as 4 years ago. I was up for like 4.5 days straight waiting for the results to come in. But it's been a long week. Glad to get to the end of it. Glad to put this suit on tomorrow. Yeah, it keeps falling down. Probably looks all dumb next to me. It's all slouched over. I'm going to put this suit on tomorrow, head out into the water, catch some waves, have some fun. Very much looking forward to that. But I wanted to spend some time with you guys here on the Pete and Greet Friday edition. It is 760-517-6844 if you'd like to call. Happy Friday. Who's this?
Hello?
Hey, who's this? I hear you. What's that?
I'd rather stay anonymous.
It's someone very young. I think they were either about to get someone else or they were just saying hi. Hello? I don't want to hang up on a kid. That just seems mean. But I feel like he put me down.
I'm just...
I don't know what's going on there. It is the Friday edition of the Pete and Greet Show. I think we're going to be doing this at least a couple more times this year. I think next Thursday evening instead of Friday. And then we're going to do the whole crew. Banana's going to be here. Brooks is going to be here. We're going to be doing it not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. So we're going to be having everybody here in 8 or 9 days. But right now it's just me, Pete, on the Pete and Greet, 760-517-6844. If you'd like to hop on and talk to me and all those many people that are tuned in, which I hope they are. I never have any idea because I can't see the stats. So hopefully there's some people out there. It's the Pete and Greet. Who's this?
What's up, Pete? My name's Lucas.
Lucas, what's going on?
Oh, nothing too much, man. I've been watching you for quite some time now, probably about a year and a half. And a couple questions I always had for you.
Sure, fire away.
The first one would be, have you ever been turned down from a voice acting job because of your blindness?
Because of my blind, I thought you were going to say, have I ever been turned down from a voice acting job? And then that was going to be the end of the sentence. I'm like, yeah, 500 times a week. it's hard to get voice acting jobs. I had a incident near the beginning of my career, like the very beginning, when I was trying to, I don't want to start any fights with anybody. So I got to figure out how I want to tell this story. I was trying to get into a particular realm of voice acting. Let's just leave it vague if that's okay, because the story will still make sense.
Okay.
And there was another person who was working in that realm of voice acting. And I was just, I was trying everything. I was throwing commercial demos out, promo demos out. I was trying to work for network TV, for radio, anything. I needed to pay my bills. I wanted to become a full-time voice actor. But this particular realm of voice acting I was in was heavily worked in by a particular person who, once he found out I was contacting some of the places he was working, started calling around and saying, hey, just so you know, this guy's blind and he can't read the copy. And,
Wow.
he told these people, he's like, oh, he's prone to make mistakes because he can't read the copy correctly. He's really slow in the turnaround. And these things are very inaccurate. The way I am with the text to speech now, and I'm better now than I was then, but I'm extraordinarily fast with the turnaround. I just put the earbud in and I repeat after, and it's just as fast as anyone reading. And also I don't make nearly any mistakes. I mean, if something is typed incorrectly, I might say it incorrectly, but that's the fault of the typing person. But yeah, and then so I started hearing this from the people I was contacting. Oh, hey, thanks for the demo. Someone reached out and kind of mentioned your disability to us. And I'm like, what? That's not cool. And I actually did. This is one of the first things I did online that went really popular. I think it was 2012. Because I've been hiding my disability. I wasn't trying to let people know that I was losing my eyesight because I was afraid that they would look at me differently. Like, oh, maybe we don't want to hire this guy. We don't know how he's going to work. So I was kind of trying to keep it to myself. But with that getting out there and this person going out there and kind of bad-mouthing my ability to work because I was disabled, I put out this video and it said, hi, my name is Pete Gustin and I'm legally blind. I wasn't fully blind at the time. I was like, I'm legally blind and I'm a voice actor. And I showed how I did it with the ear prompter. And I really just put it out there. And that actually ended up getting a lot of traction. Some local TV stations ran a piece on it. And shortly afterwards is actually when I signed with my first LA voiceover agency. And my business started doing much better after that. I found that, once I told the story and people are like, holy crap, you have this visual impairment and you're still able to work and deliver the copy. Like, that's really cool. So I'd spent a lot of time hiding it. And I just felt like I wanted to share it and share a little more. And that video, at the time I wasn't very popular. I think it got like 120,000 views. I was like, whoa! I was like really excited to get the story out there.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty not cool of that guy to do it to you. And also, I think I've seen that video before.
Yeah, it's been out there. It's been out there for a while. You know what's funny? At the very end of the video, there's two versions of the video out there. I had to make a second one because the first version of the video, at the end, I'm on my lowrider bicycle riding away from my house, and Superdog was actually running next to me, and we're kind of like riding off into the sunset away from my house. And I took the song "Lowrider" from War, which is bam, 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 bam. Low rider.
Yeah.
And this is 2012 and YouTube didn't really have all their monetization stuff worked out. So instead of just like putting a mark on the channel and having them take a cut of it, they actually just delisted the video. And so then I had to put a whole nother version of the video out there with a different song at the end. And then a few years later, I got this notice. They're like, the ASCAP BMI rights holders for War are going to allow this video to go back up. You just have to give the rights to them. I was like, sure, go ahead, take the rights. I always thought it was, and I think it was a mechanical thing. I don't think like the lead singer of the band War sat down and was like, hey, this blind guy's using our song. But it always kind of struck me funny. I was like, come on, man. I did this big, fun, inspirational kind of coming out of the closet piece. And War's like, no, you used our song. I was like, all right, whatever. Right. So yeah, there's two versions of that video out there.
My second question would be, and I don't know how many people actually remember this, because you made a video on it, but I also had a follow-up question. Is you made a video about you going to a club one night and you actually handed the bouncer your conceal and carry card. And my question to that is that, do you still have one?
It's expired. It is expired. So when I moved out to California, I'd gotten the town I lived in Massachusetts. They only issued one type of firearms card, and they only gave you a Class A. That was it. There was no B. It was just the A, the concealed, max capacity, and so I qualified. I took the class. I went to I did all the lessons. I did the safety course. I did everything that you're supposed to. One of my best friends was a firearms instructor, and there was a gun range behind my house. Like, why in the world did a blind guy start looking into firearms? It seemed like a weird hobby, but literally my good friend was an instructor, and I was walking distance to the range. I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. So in the town in Massachusetts where I got my license to carry, I got the Class A. And when I was moving out to San Diego, I called it ended up being a sheriff, I think, of my county.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, I live in Massachusetts. I got my Class A. I have a bunch of firearms. I want to bring them out to San Diego. Can I get a license to carry? And she's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I might want to go to the range. And she's like, why would you carry them around here? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I kind of thought it was going to be, you've got one in Massachusetts. Sure. You can have one in California. And she started kind of questioning me and she's like, and you're blind and you want to bring a gun to California? And I'm like, well, I wasn't fully blind yet. I was like, I have some vision. She's like, no, I think this is going to be a no. I was like, oh, so I completely got shut down, for my license to carry. But,
that sounds like California.
yeah, that was kind of my welcome to California. It was going to be a little different out here, but I can still, the whole procedure. You have to lock them in a lockbox, keep the ammunition separate from the firearms. Then you can put one in the trunk and one in the back seat, and then you can take them to a range. Yeah. So I've gone to the range. There's one, I'm very close to a military base out here. There's lots and lots of qualified instructors and places to take it to. So Josh and I actually did a video at the Iron Sights gun range, which is just a couple miles from my house. But it's, that was a hobby I was doing in Massachusetts. I hadn't found surfing. In Massachusetts, you're snowed in half the year because it's cold and snowing all the time. And for me, just to grab my firearms and some ammo in a pocket and walk to the firing range was super fun. It was a neat hobby. I'd meet friends over there, would have a good time, have some donuts or whatever. And I just haven't partaken in that as much out here because I'm spending my time surfing, which I'm having a lot of fun with. But no, so I have that old card. That was a really long answer to a short question. Sorry about that. But I have the card. It's been expired for a few years, but it is just kind of fun to have because blind guy with a Class A license to carry firearms card is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I'm coming from Missouri, and we don't have any kind of restrictions like either in Massachusetts or in California. We don't have anything like that. So it's kind of crazy to hear people's stories because I'm like, for me, I just, I throw my guns in my trunk or in my car and I go out and have fun and I come back home, no problems.
It's a good way to get arrested out here in California.
yeah. Out here, that would never happen. But.
Is Missouri, is it open carry? Can you just, or do you have to carry concealed?
I can conceal and carry without a permit and open carry without a permit here.
Oh,
as long as you're over the age of 21.
That's I feel like that's kind of interesting. Just I've never lived. I lived in New York. I spent some time in Vegas. Most of my life was in Massachusetts. Been on here for 8 years, and just the idea. I can't see anything anymore anyway. But the idea of like being at Costco and watching some guy walking around with this like Colt 45 just dangling out. That's kind of a weird idea to me. Kind of a weird thought.
Well, a lot of people don't open carry. It's kind of like one of those things that it's just not tactically. It's not a good advantage tactically, so everybody mainly conceal and carry out here. But yeah, you could do both if you wanted to.
That's interesting. I had a lot of fun with it, and it was such a rush for me to get the muscle memory down and kind of realize where I'd be on target. I was never going to be bullseye, like because I can't see the sights. But I had enough muscle memory that I'd be all around the bullseye, get 9 out of 10 on the target, and every once in a while I would pull back. If I had one of the zombie targets, I'd have a brain shot, or every once in a while the regular bullseye, I'd get a bullseye. It was a little bit of dumb luck, a lot of muscle memory, but it was fun. It was super fun. It was people are like, why would you want to shoot if you're blind? I'm like, well, if you've never shot a gun, you probably, I don't know how to answer that for you because it is fun.
Yeah.
But it was a little pricey. Ammo. So this was like 2014, and for some reason there was like a run on ammo for some reason. It was getting very expensive. Yeah. Like you'd go to the range and you'd shoot for an hour and you're like, well, that was $250.
Right. Especially in California and in Massachusetts, they actually have tax on ammo separate to the manufacturer because of their state. So like here in Missouri, a box of like, let's just say 9 mil would cost me $10 to $15 for 50 rounds. But in Massachusetts, it could cost you $20 to $30 because of the extra tax that they throw in there.
Yeah, I was paying 30. I was paying 30 for 50 easily. For a box 50, I was paying $30. But yeah, the I haven't picked one up since I went to the range with Josh maybe 2.5 years ago, and I mean maybe I will, You know, I was just, it was a lot of discouragement from the local sheriff, and I really am enjoying my new, you know, I just try and keep myself as busy as possible, try and find new sports, and I feel like surfing is such a difficult and exhilarating thing. I feel like every week I can go out and I'm never going to get bored doing it, so I'm enjoying that sport.
Well, I appreciate your time today, Pete, and man, keep on doing what you're doing. I love watching your videos, and I love hearing your voice on movies and TV shows. So
cool. Thanks a lot. Thank you for the call.
No problem. See you, Pete.
All right. It is the Friday Pete and Greet show. We've been trying to keep this a semi-regular thing because I'm really enjoying talking to everybody out there. It's kind of fun to, you know, I don't have a screener here or anything. We're just taking the calls as they come because it's, I feel like it's interesting. It's exciting to hear people's perspectives and stories, and I feel like everybody's got something going on, something different. So we just kind of keep the lines open. People can call and talk about what they want. 760-517-6844. If you can't see it on the screen and you can't remember me saying it, you can click on the description of the video. If you are blind or legally blind and you need to use text to speech, the phone number is there for you. It's the Friday Pete and Greet. Who's this? Ooh, loud. Hey, who's this? Oh man.
Hello, my name's Rose.
Oh, I can't. It sounded like a young person. I'm sure they waited on hold for a while, but you know, I'm already down 1 cent. I don't need to blow out my ears with the with the feedback that was coming through there. When you are up next, there's a little message that plays that says, "You're up next. Please mute the stream." That's playing for someone right now as I'm talking to you, because we don't want to have feedback. So mute the stream when you're up next, and that way you and I can talk, and then the YouTube or TikTok or Twitch or Facebook won't be feeding back. It's the Friday Pete and Greet. Who's this?
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Hello?
Hi.
Who's this?
Who
Wait,
are
are you Pete?
Yeah, I'm Pete. Who'd you call? Were you trying to call Uncle Fred or something?
No.
What's going on?
I'm a big fan.
What's your name?
Madison.
Madison. What's going on this Friday afternoon evening?
Well, I got off of school at 3. I'm a safety patrol at school.
What is safety patrol?
It's where our PE coach chooses a couple of kids that got nominated by their teachers. We go outside during dismissal and we help the little kids get into their cars.
Oh, that's
and
kind of
we do
cool.
a bunch of stuff to help the school.
That's nice.
I was just watching the live stream until I got the thing saying I was up next.
Yep. And you did it right. The last person just had a lot going on all at once and started blowing my eardrums out. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be blind and deaf. So I had to move on from that one. What else is going on today? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't really know.
You just wanted to say hi?
Well, I had a couple of questions.
Sure, go ahead.
When did you start voice acting?
I actually started basically the moment I got to college. I was going to Boston University, and I started in September, and then in October, the very next month, I got an internship at a radio station, and they kind of stuck me in the marketing department because that's where they had an opening. So I was on like the street corner handing out Dunkin' Donuts gift cards that had the call letters of the radio station on the other side. It was WRKO, it was a talk station. But after like a month of the internship, the woman I was working with, she's like, "What do you really want to do?" I'm like, "I think I want to do something on air." And so they actually gave me access to a studio overnight pretty quickly. And I started just practicing. I'd go in there, and the commercial production director named Bill Smith would leave his copy behind. And then I'd go in at night and practice reading his copy. Now, it was a good 2 or 3 years before anybody let me put anything on air at all, but it was great practice, you know, learning how to use a microphone, how to breathe, where to put your inflection, and just kind of how to deliver a copy. But I started right at the age of 18, and I didn't really start making any money for about I mean, 3 to 4 years later, I was doing some movie trailer parodies, and then it was like another 15 years before I really started picking up steam in the business. It's a hard business to break into, and it takes a lot of time, but I started like immediately, like as soon as I got out of college, basically.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was nice to know, like I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something in broadcast, something in radio. I thought I wanted to be a DJ, actually. It's kind of a long story how I switched over to voiceovers. I can tell a different time, but yeah, it was nice to know that basically what I wanted to do, because I watched a lot of my friends, even through their 20s and after college, they're like, I don't know what I want to do. And I was like, I wanted to use my voice. I wanted to be an entertainer in the entertainment biz. It was nice to know that right away.
Yeah.
What's your other question?
Oh, I'm trying to think of it. I had these all down on a notepad. I lost it.
You think of it, and I'm trying to fix my wetsuit. I wanted it all on display, and it's just slumped over here. Probably looks all lame. I don't even know if people can see it. I think it's out of the frame for the TikTok people anyway. Next time, I don't know. Maybe next time I'll run the air conditioning in this room, put it on like 50, and I'll wear the wetsuit. I had it on for like half a second before I was about to come in here, and I started walking around and pressing all the buttons and everything. I was like, nope. I'm gonna pass out on camera, and that might be good for views, but I didn't want to pass out from heat stroke from wearing the thing, so I took it off and put it next to me.
Yeah. Do you have a P.O. box? That's my another question.
Oh, I do, and I never know the name of it off my the number of it off the top of my head. However, if you go to any of my unboxing videos, if you go to YouTube and you type in Blind Surfer unboxing, any one of the unboxing videos that I've done, when you go to the description, it'll say, please send your safe packages to. It's 300 Carlsbad Village Drive, and I just don't remember the number of the box. But if you go to any of those unboxing videos, and there's one out today, there's actually one out today on YouTube and TikTok. If you can tap the three little dots, then it says more or something like that, then it says description, it'll give you the P.O. box if you want to mail anything out to me for an unboxing. This unboxing, the one that we posted today, there have been so many ones where I've gotten mailed something horrible, weird, gross, and it's fun. It's in good fun. You know, like it's like people are playing pranks, all except for the 7-pot Primo Pepper, which made me gag, throw up, cry, and finally get someone screaming. I don't mind to a degree the kind of funny ones, weird ones, kind of prank ones, and I do think those make for good videos. You know, I would like as many people to watch them as possible, so we try and make good videos. The one that came out today was actually a really good tasting treat, then a water sensor, and then some really good potato chips. The two things, the food came from one of my viewers, 86 Nukem, I think his name. I should know this because we communicate all the time, but he sent the good tasting stuff, and the response was funny. The views in the video aren't as high because I'm not being tortured, and I think that might not be as entertaining, but a lot of people are like, it's nice to finally see you getting something that you enjoy, something that isn't torturing you. People actually like seeing me happy with the stuff that I was eating. So well, maybe we'll post more of those where I'm not actually getting tortured too much in the unboxing videos. This is the Friday Pete and Greet. I'm Pete. Who's this?
Hi.
Hello.
This is Tracy.
Say it one more time.
Tracy?
Tracy, what's going on?
I didn't expect to get through to you, so I'm kind of excited about that. I've been listening to you and noticing some parallels with your experiences with your blindness. And I think that's kind of interesting. I didn't even know about you until my husband let me know about you. And and so I was kind of excited to watch your videos and learn more about you. I have cone dystrophy.
Oh,
so
okay. I'm aware of that.
Another one of those slowly developing genetic eye issues.
Yep. So for the people that don't know, you're losing, you can correct me, but I know that it's difficult in the light for cone dystrophy, and also fine detail is going away. Is that correct? Or can you tell me more?
Yeah. The light is is kind of difficult for me. I have really bad issues when the sun is shining right in my face.
Yep.
I really can't see much of anything when the sun is shining in my face. So I have to kind of face the other way. Or I have the over glasses, kind of like you have on your head.
Yep.
But I also get migraine headaches because of my eyesight.
Yes.
So when I wear the double glasses, it puts a lot of pressure on my head. And so I don't do that very much.
The glasses that I wear, and I'm not paid by these guys. They don't sponsor me. I've tried to reach out to them a million times, but you know it is what it is. But I'm happy to promote their product because it works so good for me. A lot of my symptoms are cone dystrophy-esque in that I do have a really hard time with the light. And these glasses that I wear are from Oakley, and they make a coating. It's gold, and they call it the 24K Prism coating, PRIZM coating. They make a handful of glasses with it on it. And I know you're saying you do the double glasses. Oakley does do prescriptions if you're working with a prescription, but the 24 karat Prism coating is dark enough that it cuts down on the migraines for me massively, but still lets some of the light through, which I actually like. I don't like being in the dark. I don't, ever since I found out I was going to lose my eyesight, I thought for me that meant I was going to be in the complete darkness, and that has always petrified me. To this day, I'm still not in the dark. I'm in bright, squishy colors, but I would prefer that to the dark. So these glasses, the 24 karat Prism glasses that I wear, allow some light to come through. Like right now I can see, blue and white. It's kind of, the colors kind of move on me, but I can still see blue and I can still see the white from the lights that are pointed at me. And it's kind of pleasant. It's much better than the headaches I get. So I would recommend, if there's an Oakley store or Sunglass Hut near you, just try them on. It might work for you. I try and recommend that to people with cone dystrophy, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, I can't use the yellows. The yellows actually don't work for me. The ones that I have, they call them plum.
Yep.
Yeah, because those are the ones that cut out the spectrum that bothers my eyes.
Isn't that interesting? Funny you say that. Yep. So when I first started becoming very sensitive to light, it's funny when people walk into my house, they're like, whoa, you got a lot of sunglasses. Like right when you walk into my house, Banana actually bought me this sunglass display case, and I've got like 40 pairs of sunglasses, and we ran down the spectrum of colors. We went Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I was buying, I kept thinking to myself, what if I'm looking through a red lens? Then maybe I'll be able to see. I'm like, no, what if I look through an orange lens? Like this is at the point I was like not accepting the fact that my eyesight was just going. There was nothing I could do about it. You know, no color was going to fix it. But we tried everything. And what I ended up finding eventually was a bronze or blue tint still let a very pretty, almost periwinkle color come into my brain, but didn't cause headaches. So it didn't let me see anything, but I constantly get to see when I'm wearing my glasses, either a bronze or a blue color, and it's soothing to me. I like it. I prefer that to being in the dark. So that is why I wear sunglasses.
Yeah, I like wearing them because it does cut out the spectrum that bothers my eyes, but wearing the doubles does put too much pressure, so I find I either wear those or my glasses, one or the other, and I kind of stopped wearing them out in public because I noticed that when people see me with the double glasses or with the over glasses, they treat me different. And I don't know if anybody did that with you when you started wearing them and started losing your eyesight, but I feel like people started looking at me like I'm losing my brains out my ear.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. Like I suffered through, there was a gym that I used to go to in the suburb of Boston. It was right in Boston actually. And it was just windows from floor to ceiling. And the time that I went was so bright, and I would go and I would work out and I wouldn't wear glasses, and I would just leave the gym with these massive headaches. And then every once in a while I'm like, I can't take the damn headaches anymore. So I'd wear my glasses at the gym, and I could, people are like, oh, what up, tough guy? Like I meet like the guy with the glasses in the gym. When you're doing something outside the norm and they don't know why, people's instinct is to if nothing else, give you weird looks because they don't understand why you're doing it. And I can know you got two pairs of glasses on, one of them got colors on it. They're like, oh, this is a crazy lady. Like, yeah, that's what people do. And at a certain point, you either got to deal with it or not deal with it, you know, and I pick my spots. Like in these videos, I particularly choose not to wear the glasses. It does give me the headaches at the end of the day, but I like letting you guys see my facial expressions, my eye expressions. I try and make eye contact with the camera. I feel like I'm more connected when I'm letting people see my eyes. So it's my choice. I'm not just doing it for the audience. I feel like I'm connecting. But at a certain point, if it starts to hurt and I have to put down the glasses, you know, when Banana and I go out to restaurants, I will wear them inside if there's any sunlight coming in the place. And I know people are looking at me like, well, what's with Mr. Cool over there eating his sunglasses, eating a hamburger? But, you know, at a certain point, I'd rather just not have the headache.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when you get headaches that are migraines and they'll last for up to a week long.
Yeah, definitely not worth it. I mean, you got to find what works for you. I mean, I get to wear a suit out there a couple times a week that says blind surfer. So they're like, okay, we know what's going on with this guy. But if you're just a person out there regular and you got the weird double glasses on, yeah, I mean, it can be a thing. But you know what? Not much is worth a week-long migraine that can cripple you and debilitate you. So I'd say do what makes you comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did want to make one other comment because you were talking about your concealed carry earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it was funny because I'm another, legally blind person who has gone to the shooting range.
Oh, it's funny you say, because when you said the yellow lenses, I was thinking in the beginning when my instructor was trying to like help me a little bit, he's like, yellow lenses and orange lenses are really good for shooting. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to see the target, man. but thank you for the tip.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it? Do you go regularly?
Huh?
Do you go regularly, or have you just gone a couple times?
No, my husband and I went together and we took the safety course and all of that, and we did the shooting. I'm not big on it, but my husband likes to go shooting. So we took the course together, and I did shoot, and I did get the concealed carry.
Nice.
But I always thought it was funny because I know when I took the course, I thought how weird it is for a legally blind person to take a course at the shooting range.
It's fun. It's fun to hear you say it. It really is just, you know, it's something you're better if you're a legally blind or blind person. It's easier to fire a gun in the safety of a range under the supervision of trained professionals than it is to go to a batting cage and try and make contact with a ball that's coming at you 60, 70, or 90 miles an hour. Like, it's not as crazy as people think. You know, when people find out, you know, Hassan Abi, a very popular Twitch streamer on YouTube too, when he found out I was a blind guy that shot, he's like, what? That makes no sense whatsoever. And I'm like, it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. You know, you do your best, you use your muscle memory, then they bring the target back to you and you can feel it. It's almost like bullet braille. You're like, all right, I got right around the target. It's kind of fun. It's totally a good hobby as long as it's done safe, as long as you got supervision, as long as you pass the safety course. I'm not telling every blind person out there to go grab a gun and start shooting all over the place. That would be crazy. I'm saying under safe, strict, supervised situations, it can be a fun hobby.
Yeah, it was fun, but I don't know, it makes me nervous anyway, but it was fun.
Well,
anyway,
glad you gave it a try.
It was fun. And I don't know if I'm your last caller, if you have other people behind me. So I want to let you have your next people come and ask whatever questions they have. But it's been really fun talking to you and getting to relate to another person who has a visual impairment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I'm going to talk a bit about that. We're going to move on to the calls, but thank you so much for the call. That is one of the reasons I started doing this channel. Growing up in the 80s, no social media, no way to hear anybody else's stories. 80s and 90s, I was completely alone in the world of being visually impaired. I didn't know anybody else that had impairments or any disabilities at all. I had a supportive family, great cousins, amazing parents, incredible friends, but there was no one that I could talk to about, you know, do you understand what it's like losing your eyesight? No, you don't. And I also didn't have anywhere to look to see anybody else doing anything. Like, I was always paving my own road, making my own path, just trying to figure out what was possible. And that was difficult. It was stressful. It was hard. And that's why I felt like a part of me wanting to share my stories was to let other people out there know, you have a visual problem, you're losing your eyesight. And it's more than that. I feel like lots of people are connecting with this. So people with ADD, autism, hearing loss, and whatever you've got going on, I just kind of want to get the message out there that you can still live a life. You can still keep going. And I wanted to just kind of put myself out there as like, maybe some sort of an example. Like, you don't have to give up and just go into state aid and have other people take care of you. That's the message that I've always wanted to share. And the reason that I continue to make these videos, excuse me, I was hiccuped, which is a voiceover person's nightmare, by the way. If you've got like 30 sessions lined up in a day and you start hiccuping all damn day, that's a problem. Anyway, it's the Pete and Greet. We'll do a couple more calls. It is Friday afternoon evening. And who is this?
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Aaron.
Aaron, what's going on today?
Nothing much. I was scrolling and I saw your live stream and I was like, man, I've never been able to actually be on like his live streams and stuff.
Well, I'm glad you got through today. Which platform are you watching on?
I'm watching from TikTok.
Oh, cool. So that's the button. TikTok, I always explain to people, it is the least accessibility friendly platform. And so I get the camera set up for me in the middle of the day. I know it's pointed at me. And then I walk over there and it's literally the button that says go live is the one button that won't get read out to me. And so when I tap the button that doesn't make any noise, I'm like, that's the one. And I have to tap it and walk away and hope that I'm live on TikTok.
Yeah.
What's going on today?
Nothing much. I'm actually surprised that I was able to get in contacts, but it's actually pretty much a shocker to me. I didn't think I'd be able to get through.
Well, I'm glad you got through. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. But I'm from Connecticut, so it's pretty chilly up here.
Yeah, I don't entirely miss the winters in the Northeast. It is a little weird that San Diego kind of stays the same all year round. We left after the winter of 2015, which had record snow in Boston. And I was like, I'm sick of shoveling. Although I did not know, coming from the Northeast, you hear from everybody that I knew up there that it's 72 and sunny all the time in San Diego. That is not the case. When I wake up tomorrow morning to go surfing, it's going to be in the low 40s. It actually gets, I mean, it's not like, it's not freezing, but it gets a lot colder than I expected it would out here.
Yeah, I do surfing somewhat, not much.
Yeah?
But in my meantime, I'll just do like boogie boarding and stuff every once in a while.
That's cool. I like boogie boarding. My dad came out for a visit a bunch of years ago, and he had a boogie board with a shark on the bottom of it, and I was like, "Oh man, don't bring an extra shark into the water with me." But that was really super fun for me. I think that was the summer of 2017 or 18. My dad just grabbed a boogie board and jumped in the water, and I was still kind of learning how to surf. I was riding a big foam board, and I got to surf along next to him as he was boogie boarding in, and that was a blast. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can grab a boogie board and get in the water. Surfing is a long ramp up to learn how to do it, but just to get in the water and have fun, have the waves take you, boogie boarding's a blast.
Yeah. Last time I went boogie boarding, I had it right up to my stomach, and I was just about to start riding a wave, and all of a sudden, I pushed it a little too far down.
Yeah.
So it caught in the sand and felt like a sucker punch to the stomach. Did not feel nice.
Yeah, you got the board just shoved right back in the stomach as the nose of it hit the sand. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I remember early on when we were out here, I remember I took Banana to the beach once, and I was trying to teach her how to surf, and I had no business teaching her because I couldn't see what was going on. But she went over the front of her surfboard, face planted into the sand in the water, and she ended up getting sand in her eye, and not just like, oh, I got some sand in my eye, like it was really, really, really in there, like almost could have caused some damage. She couldn't wash it out very well, and she's like, that's the last time I have you try and teach me. I'm like, yeah, that was not a great idea. I'm sorry. But sorry you got gut punched by your boogie board, but it's still fun to get out there.
Yeah. But it's actually I'm still in shock that I was able to get through.
Well, I'm glad you did. I think let me check the time.
5:13 p.m.
5:13 p.m. I believe so. TikTok, unless I get up there and tap the screen, it shuts me off after an hour automatically. It says that there was no activity, so that's probably going to shut me off. I think we're going to wrap it up. It is Friday evening. Thank you so much for the call. Thank you to everybody that called. The Friday Pete and Greet show. It's going to be a slightly different schedule next week. I'd like to get this into some sort of a routine so people know when I'm going to be on. I'd like to do this Friday 4:30 to 5:30 Pacific time, but I think next week there's going to be a book club going on at my house, and I'm not part of it, so I might come up here and talk to you guys while book club is going on Thursday evening. And then Saturday of next week is going to be our big sponsored one, possibly the last sponsored one of the year. Banana will be here, Brooks will be here. Let me see, can I play myself out with some music? Let's see if I can do it. Hey, there we go. But these have been a blast. I think it's been, maybe 6 months that we've been doing these together, and I've really enjoyed talking to everybody. Very excited. Thank you for all the feedback on the Blind Surfer wetsuit video that I put out a couple days ago, and to everybody that sends stuff to the unboxing video, or for me to unbox the unboxing videos. I appreciate that. Really just love my audience, love having this platform, the ability to talk to you guys. I never thought I'd have anything like that at all. So the fact that I have people calling up and saying that they enjoy the videos and they get something out of it, means the world to me. I appreciate all the comments and all the calls and everything. Now I got to get up and go behind and try and figure out how to shut all this stuff down, because it's not totally tech accessible, but I'll figure it out. In the meantime, maybe you can stare at my chicken. That sounded weird. This thing, this guy, this chicken. I think he says I'll be right back, but I'm not going to be right back. I'm going away. But thanks to everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye. Chicken, stop attacking me.